Steven Espinoza says Errol Spence has been consistent on the Terence Crawford rematch. But why? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red. But let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, the big homie, Steven Espinoza, the man behind Showtime Sports, Showtime Boxing, spoke about Errol Spence and the Terence Crawford rematch. He also broke down what would actually stop that rematch from happening. I wanted to give my 94 nickels on what Steven had to say for anybody listening.
Well, Errol's been consistent. Like, he wants the rematch. He said it right after the fight. He hasn't changed. There are a lot of conversations going on internally with his team. I wouldn't really want to disclose all of those. Spence wants the rematch. As a team, to all his advisors, agree that that's the best way to go.
All right, y'all. So what does Steven Espinoza have to say about the Errol Spence rematch? Well, basically that Errol Spence has been extremely consistent on what he wants, which is the rematch. He said it after the fight. He said he's been consistently saying it ever since the fight was officially over. And he feels like that it's going to happen. He doesn't anticipate that there'll be anything stopping it from happening. He said that, people have voiced their opinions about whether Errol should go and seek some, medical attention about the eye or about the car accident. Here's the thing about people bringing up the eye or the car accident. Like, that's something that played a role in Errol Spence losing the fight.
Errol, Big Fish Spence. Scrap season. Big Texas is what they call him. Trash. And I do mean trash. Bud Crawford, I owe you an apology. You not the rudest chicken I spent tonight.
No, it played no role in him losing the fight whatsoever. You can't really even bring up the eye or the car accident at this point because he's already had 2 fights in between. And if they were going to find something, they would have found it in the pre-fight checkups. The same way they supposedly found the bad retina before the Manny Pacquiao fight. If he had something wrong with his eye, why wouldn't they have found it before the fight? It makes no sense.
That's how your energy is. They just keep going and going and going.
If he was having some type of brain problem, why wouldn't they have found it before the fight? It wouldn't have just popped up on fight night, as the fight was taking place. It don't happen like that. If there was something wrong already, they would have found it before the fight.
How you doing?
Not only that, you have to go through post-fight evaluations when you get beat up, especially when you get beat up that bad. Even if you win the fight, you have to get evaluated before they're going to release you and all these things. So, no, it had nothing to do with the eye. No, it had nothing to do with the car accident. What happened was, and what people are saying is, Errol Spence actually suffered some type of injury. Some people are saying it's a rib injury. Some people are saying that it's because he was dehydrated from trying to run in the Las Vegas heat, trying to lose the last few pounds.
What? I got it made. I still got it made. Ain't nothing changed because they still...
This is what I believe. He was trying too hard, the same way Manny Pacquiao was trying too hard before the Yordenis Ugas fight, and it just messed with his body. Sometimes you can go a little bit too hard and you're depleted before you try to do something. Most people that have been either athletes in their life or they're extremely athletic or, they do something on a daily basis with athleticism or working out, they already know this because they've probably done it to themselves before. If you're some guy sitting in a chair all day or on the couch all day gumming down donuts and potato chips, you would have never experienced this during your life because you're not athletic.
You might not want to speak anymore without an attorney present.
So I wouldn't be surprised if, that's what most people are doing, is they're just, they're the average person. Nothing wrong with that. But the average person is not going to know this because they've never been through it. I've been through this myself just from playing basketball and going too hard and then trying to go play basketball again and realizing my body's not performing at the same pace that it was performing at before. Yeah, I might have been feeling real good earlier that day, went out, it was too hot, got dehydrated, didn't drink enough water, and I went to go play basketball and my body just wasn't performing because I didn't do the things I was supposed to do to rehydrate my body. Now the thing about boxing is you have to be a certain weight for a certain amount of time before the fight, or you forfeit portions of the purse, or you forfeit the fight completely, especially if it's a title fight. So Errol Spence had to do certain things to make weight, unfortunately for him, and those things caught up to him.
Hey, woman, since your old man ain't got no heart, maybe you'd like to see a real man. Bring your pretty little self over to my apartment tonight, and I'll show you a real man.
The thing about it is, in the rematch, he's not going to have such a big problem with this because he's not going to have to drop so much weight. This is the reason why when you're seeing Errol Spence right now after the fight, he has nothing but big smiles on his face. Matter of fact, hours after the fight, if you go look at the photos and things of Errol Spence, just hours after the fight, he didn't even have any marks on his face.
I want Crawford glove tested for razor blade the way he was cutting your face up tonight. Blood everywhere. Throw in the towel.
That tells me two things. Terence Crawford's power really isn't as great as people are making it out to be, and Errol Spence wasn't that hurt in that fight. He just didn't look good because he was dehydrated from working out too much to make weight. So, this is the reason why I don't feel bad that he lost the first fight. I said that he would lose to Pacquiao, so I guess people forgot about that. But, it is what it is. I haven't built Errol Spence up as an unmovable force.
Crawford hit you everywhere except up under the bottom of your feet. You talking about a rematch? Never. I don't want to see that. I'm praying for you, Spence. Go to the hospital to get tested. Crawford or mother. And that's on me, baby.
Like I had told everybody before the fight, when you build someone up as an unmovable force and then they lose, you're going to be highly disappointed in that person. I'm not disappointed in Errol. He did the best he could do in a fight he really couldn't win because he was weight drained. And there's nothing wrong with that. And this is the reason Errol Spence isn't beating himself up about the fight. He's out enjoying his life with his millions and his family. And he knows in the rematch, he's going to be 10 times better than that version of himself. And not only that, he knows he can take Terence Crawford's punches now.
You're hoarding. Playing each piece like losing it hurts. This ain't checkers. You want my king. All these other pieces are just a means to do it.
If Terence Crawford didn't really do that much damage to him, it might have looked bad because he wasn't throwing back. But at the end of the day, hours after the fight, he barely had marks on his face. Go back and look at the post-fight interview. His face was a little puffy, but hours after the fight, all the puffiness went away and he looked normal again. There was no cuts, he has no brain damage. Go look at the footage of him playing in the sand and eating steak with his wife. Does that look like somebody who got brain damage to you? I don't think so. And it's just making me laugh a lot, when I go and I look at how he's doing and what he's doing right now, and then what the comments and things that I heard from people, because what I know is the rematch is going to be totally different, and it's not going to be as bad as what people think. Even if he loses, it's going to be a different Errol Spence in that fight.
Don't get a sucker no statue. Give him guts. Shut up, old man. I ain't going nowhere. And why don't you tell all these nice folks why you've been ducking me? Keep everybody weak. They don't want a man like me to have the title because I'm not a puppet like that fool up there.
But July 29th, I'm going to show each and every one of y'all why. This era is the Terence Crawford era.
We get 3% to these organizations. I mean, we got to know where this money going to. Josh and all these guys, you know, making $50 million, and these belts getting 3% of it. Where's it going to?
The little man don't want to come to me. Then I'll come to you people and lay out the truth. You see, he don't fight no real man. Shut up, old man. You that chump don't know where to come from. You call yourself a fighter? Prove it now.
Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. That like button for me. Share, subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. And you're more than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. If you want to collab or feature a product on your channel or my channel, holler at me. Hit my Gmail, because it is a flock of cards at gmail.com. And we are mad.
Now who you know better? Dolce & Gabbana umbrella, keep the weather off the leather. Life's a bitch, and I'm sure you let her. She try and hold me down, but you know I wouldn't let her. I go so cold, drove in the joke. Hoes in the car, getting low off the bars. Wake up, bitch, I show you where it is. 502, let me show you where I live. Wake up, bitch. They sleeping on the field. Freak up in them heels, getting freaky off the pill. I told that bitch I been that nigga. I been that spill. I been hair hooks like Lou Ware Cinder. I'm killing all them boys going dirty. It's your boy Keys, player, this is my year. Hey, we got the hood rockin' front to back. Ain't gonna be no hating shit around here. Hey, is that for us? Is that for us? Is that for us? Fucks with it, fucks with it. Is that fucks? Is that fucks? Fucks with it. I'm doing it, moving it, proving it. Come through with it, go ahead, move it, bitch. Young Lewis is way too cool with it. I keep a chicken in the bird like ludicrous. I got a stupid clique, hooligans, bruise your shit. Not the type of cat you wanna get into it with. Keep running your mouth, I'ma put a shoe in it. Won't stop till I'm super rich, nigga, you's a bitch. And I'm the best thing left, man. Wet game, leave your dame with a sweat stain. So niggas wanna start shit when I'm riding with they bird like Leonard Part 6. You know them boys going dirty. It's your boy Keys, player, this is my year. Hey, we got the club rockin' front to back. Ain't gonna be no hating shit around here. Hey, is that for us? Is that for us? Is that for us?